Welcome to the Brad and Taylor Show. Today we have Heather Ruthrauff.
You're listening to The Brad and Taylor Show, a podcast that inspires entrepreneurs to pursue their passions. We're sitting down with some of the best to learn how they got started and some lessons they learned along the way.
Hey, Heather.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're good.
We're doing good. What exactly do you do?
So I'm a real estate agent with Berkshire Hathaway in Fox Chapel. I live in O'Hare Township. I have two children that are in the district, a fourth grader and a kindergartner.
Nice.
A enormous four-legged child, my Newfoundland, and my husband's here too.
Awesome. I like it. So when you were younger, did you know you wanted to be an agent when you grew up, or what was your whole plan?
I did not when I grew up. I always knew I wanted to help others. I loved working with children. My mom was a teacher. And so growing up, I just sort of always saw her working with children with disabilities. And I moved into occupational therapy for a long time. I was an occupational therapist for 15 years back in Philadelphia and loved what I did. But, felt just kind of a little burnt out, and we relocated to Pittsburgh for my husband's job, and decided to sort of take the leap and go into real estate. And here I am.
That's awesome.
Was real estate something that was on your mind, or did you know somebody? Like, how did you get to where you are now with that?
Well, it's funny. My grandfather actually was in real estate, in commercial real estate, and I've always just really enjoyed it. I think that as an occupational therapist, I always loved working with others and understanding their wants and needs and creating the best solution. And I feel like I do that in real estate as well. And it always just sort of was kind of like a tug on my heart, and felt like it was something that I wanted to try. And really, I have to give credit to my husband, who kind of pushed me over the edge to do it. But it feels like it's what I'm meant to do. And it's really fun.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Awesome. So what is the most memorable piece of advice that you've gotten with real estate or in general, just along the way, that's kind of stuck with you?
So it's funny. I think moving here and sort of pushing ourselves out of our comfort zone has really stuck with me.
Yeah.
And there's two quotes that I really sort of love and kind of I'm trying to live by right now. And one is, if you aren't growing, you're dying. And the other is, the ship in harbor is safe, but that's not what ships are built for. And those are both Dave Hollis quotes, but I just really think that it's important to push yourself to the next limit, and just kind of keep pushing yourself, because that's how you grow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Tell us. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, take us to your first transaction. How did that go?
Oh gosh. My first transaction was pretty good. It was clients that actually relocated to here. So I had some nice connection with that because I'd done it myself. And I was connected with them actually through my old job at Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. So I connected with them. They actually were working with a different realtor that they weren't really happy with. And I kind of
swooped right in there.
Not took them, but I showed the value that I can offer, and we started working together. And we concentrated in the north, which is where I like to concentrate because that's where I'm here. And we found them a great house. We went through a couple different transactions and lost a couple, but they're very happy here now. And I hope they're here to stay for a while. And but every transaction is different for sure.
Yeah.
I had a wonderful mentor through my brokerage that, you get paired up with someone who has more experience. And she was sort of the best of both worlds, where she was very old school, and I kind of think I helped her with the technology aspect, and she helped me sort of with sort of the old school kind of mentality of the business a little bit. And so she was a great help, and it was pretty smooth.
That's awesome.
Nice.
I like it. So when you started out, did you join a team, or were you by yourself, or how'd that?
I didn't. I've been by myself the whole time. I think in this business, it's really very much about it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. And really just about growing relationships. My goal with my clients is really to um, understand their wants and needs, and every transaction and every client is different. And really not just focused on, getting the deal closed, but really meeting my clients' needs where they are.
Yeah, that's awesome. So when you what is one of like the worst properties you visited? You may have
Oh
been
God.
like on a showing or something.
So I've had a couple, well, it's so I have a couple clients who are investors, so they're looking for, just like the grossest properties of all times. So when I'm going on those, I wear my rubber boots, I don't dress up, and I know kind of what we're going into. But I'll go into anything. I like to say that, because I'm not from here, I will cross bridges and go through tunnels. And so I've kind of been all over in all types of properties. And it's just all about being flexible and listening to what your clients needs.
Yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
especially with the investor ones that
Oh yeah.
definitely don't care what the house looks like.
No, certainly not. I let them go into the basement first,
Yeah.
and
Right.
I follow after them. But
Yep, it's what it is. So, anyways, what do you got planned in the next year or so?
My goal is really just to continue to build relationships, especially, ultimately I like to focus in the north, especially in the township and kind of where I live, because I feel like I have a really good pulse on kind of the market and everything going on, just down the street from me. So it's to me, it's all about kind of continuing to build those relationships and helping as many people as I can.
Yeah, it's awesome. So when you back when they shut us down a year ago, how'd that go?
It was interesting, I'll have to say. I have 2 kids. They were at the time in 3rd grade and preschool. So, trying to combine working from home and my kids was interesting. My son, who was in preschool at the time, watched a lot of television. Um, and my daughter kind of hung in as best as possible, but it was tough. I had a bunch of transactions that ended up kind of closing in I guess March and April, and then there was kind of lull, and then when we opened back up, it was just like gangbusters. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
um, it's definitely been an interesting market to be a part of, and I don't see it slowing down anytime soon. But hopefully, my kids have been back in school, which is amazing. They will be at camp this summer, so hopefully we're kind of
Sweet.
getting back to normal a little bit.
Yeah.
I like it. Especially if we can if somehow we can find some more houses to sell, right?
I know. It's not easy out there right now, but we're getting there.
Yep. So let's say you had to start all over today and you only had $1,000. How would you spend that first out $1,000?
I kind of laughed at this because I feel like that is what I kind of did. I think getting into this business, it was sort of, our plan, and I'm fortunate that my husband was able to sort of support us in the process of was sort of just everything that comes in terms of what I'm making is we're going to reinvest into the business. So I think it's interesting because reading and learning more about entrepreneurship and stuff, I think sometimes people are like, well, I have to go buy this shiny new computer and I have to go do this and I have to do that. And I think this business is really about just putting one foot in front of the other, and continuing to build, and again, it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. So I don't know if I would do much differently. I think you end up paying a lot of money to your brokerage, unfortunately. So that $1,000 should probably be spent in terms of the same way, but it's worth it. I think Berkshire has been super supportive of me, and they have a lot to offer as a brokerage and a company. And
That's awesome.
yeah.
Nice. When you first started out in real estate, what was your favorite way to market yourself, and how has that changed over the years, especially
Hmm.
this past year?
um, I love connecting with people in person, and I think I'm looking forward to getting back to more of that. I
Yeah.
think,
Yeah.
obviously, I think I'm, video is the way to go in terms of social media. And I definitely have to, sort of get more comfortable with that. And I think we've all sort of become more comfortable with that
You're kind of
in the
forced
last
us on
year.
it. Yeah.
So, I think, and I tend to, I think social media is tough where it's, you can either totally put yourself out there and be an open book or be totally private. And I think, you kind of have to find some sort of happy medium. So I think, getting more out there, but I've had some good leads on social media and things like that. But I really like connecting with people in person. I think you just, it's more genuine, you understand it more. And hopefully you're making more of a relationship connection rather than just, something sort of fake on social media.
Yeah.
You mentioned doing some videos the way to go. Are you have you been doing any video?
No, I need to. Got any tips? I think it's, I think in general, I find myself on social media looking at it too. You're driven, or you enjoy watching video. It's quick. It's, exciting. I think it's a really good way to market a property because people are interested in, looking at video and getting sort of a full picture very quickly rather than just pictures. So it's definitely something that's on my radar coming up. But yeah, I haven't really done any of it yet.
Yeah.
This is my first, foray into more video.
There we go. I like it. You're doing great.
Thanks.
So how can people get a hold of you?
So I love to connect in person. You can call me, you can text me. I am on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn at Realtor PGH. And my website is heatherruthrauff.com.
Sweet. Awesome. Hey, thanks for coming on sharing your story with us today.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Are these working?
All right.
Here we go.
Oh, there we go. I think they're working. Should we tell them?
Mine keeps falling. It doesn't like my voice.
What do we got to tell them?
Subscribe.
Subscribe? What do we got to point at? Hey, I think there's a subscription button. Like
It might be there.
Might be right there too.
Somewhere.
Find
it. It's red.
Yeah. And it's blue. It's green. I don't really know.
It's a color.
This mic isn't even attached. Did you plug these in? Well, I guess.
I wonder if they can hear us.
Yeah, I wonder if they hear us. Well, we should probably tell them if they can hear us. We should probably tell them also give us a 5-star review if they listen to on Apple. That'd be cool.
5 stars,
review.
guys.
Share it with everybody they can think of.
We won't take 4 stars.
I mean, Taylor, I don't even think these are on. I mean,
I don't think this is working.
This is not working.